why you always feel broke even when you're making money. Have you ever checked your bank account and thought, where did all my money go? Like, you know you're working, you know you're getting paid, but somehow like you still feel broke. You still feel like you don't have money, right? If that sounds familiar, I think this video is going to be very helpful for you, because the truth is most people don't have an income problem or making money problem. They have a money system problem, which means they haven't created a system that allows them to calculate their money and to budget their money and to actually know how much money that's coming in and how much money that's going out. Today I'm going to be breaking down how people stay broke, and even when they make money, they still feel like they're behind. They still feel like they're not making enough money, and they don't know exactly how to fix that. But I'm going to show you today some solutions on how to fix that. One of the first reasons that people always stay broke is simple: money leaks. These money leaks are big purchases, big impulse purchases that you make consistently, right? You don't calculate them. You're not keeping track of these small little purchases that are adding up, but you're consistently spending money on stuff that you don't need. These drain your account so much to the point where you let 2 to 3, 4 months go by where you're consistently making these small little purchases, but that will add up at the end of 3, 4 months. If you actually went back to calculate, you'll see you almost spent $1,000 to $2,000 on all these small purchases, whether it's these new shoes that you bought, whether it's this new shirt that you bought, whether it's the designer belt that you bought that you didn't need, or the fourth pair of shoes that you bought in the last 2 months that you didn't need. All these stuff add up, causing you to have these money leaks. Individually, these things don't feel expensive in the moment. A $200 shoes, you in your head you're like, okay, I'll make that back up. I'll make that $200 back up. It won't be a problem. I'll make it back in this week's paycheck. But together, all that money is destroying your cash flow. Once you start to understand that money is destroying your cash flow, which means every time you're spending that money, that money is accumulating. And in the next few months, if you don't calculate it, in the next 3, 4 months, if you don't calculate it and you just let it progress and accumulate over time, you end up spending $1,000 to $2,000 in expenses that you didn't need, and buying clothes that you didn't need, and buying shoes that you didn't need, buying a bunch of stuff that you didn't need. The problem that we have as a community is that we do not track our money. We don't track how much money's coming in. We don't track how much money's going out. We don't track how we're spending our money, and we don't see a problem with it. That's one of the biggest issues. We don't see a problem with not tracking our money. We have to become people that are more accountable with how we're tracking our money and how we're calculating our money, how we're budgeting our money. This is a problem we have to fix, because the less accountable you are with tracking your money and managing your finances, the more issues you will have in the future. The fix is simple. Track every dollar for 1 month, not forever, just for 1 month. When you see you're spending on paper, you gain control back immediately. That 1 month is going to turn into 2 months. It's going to turn into 3 months, and it's going to turn into 4 months. Then you'll start to actually understand, okay, the amount of money that's coming in, how much is going out, and what I could do, how I can create a system to better help me track my money and to help me with these leaks that are happening. People stay broke because they have no system in place. Their system is they get paid, they spend their money, and then they hope there's money left. That doesn't work out. That never works out. Not having a system causes you to spend recklessly, causes you to not manage your finances properly. Saving isn't about motivation, it's about structure. Having structure, having a system in place, having a way that you do things, how much money you're saving every month, how much money you're learning how to invest every month. Learn how to create systems, learn how to put systems in place to calculate your money, the money that's coming in, the money that's coming out, and to better manage your cash flow, so you're not in a position where you're actually losing money, but you're in a position where you're growing your savings, you're in a position where you're growing your finances, and you're not setting yourself back. You have to understand that people who build wealth and who have wealth already, they're not trying to save. It's not something that they're trying to do. That's like me trying to tell you, you have to brush your teeth. You try to brush your teeth. This needs to become a habit. This needs to be something that's part of your life. You need to learn how to automate your savings. So that means calculating your income, calculating the amount of money that's coming into your pocket, and already identifying how much you're going to save for the month, how much you're going to save for the week, how much of that paycheck you're going to be saving, how much of that money you're going to be investing, how much of this money you're going to be putting towards your bills or towards any other expenses that you might have, or towards a special project. Let's say you're trying to save up for a car. Let's say you're trying to save up for a house. These are the things that you have to learn how to do, how to automate your savings, how to automate your investments. It shouldn't be something that's hard. Wealthy people already have this habit instilled in them. It's already instilled in them, and it's not something that they have to consistently be working on, right? You learn how to create this habit, and it becomes like brushing your teeth. It becomes part of like your daily routine. It becomes part of like your monthly routine, and you just know, okay, everything is automated. With automation, wealthy people's money is already moving before they ever even touch it, before they ever even see it. Consciously in their head, they already know, okay, this X amount of money is going into this savings, X amount of money is going into this investment, X amount of money is going towards expenses. So they already have calculated this even way before their money comes in. And that's how they're building wealth, because they've set up a system and they've created a structure in their finances to the point where they don't have to consistently be every week looking about, okay, how much did I spend this month? How much am I spending this month? How much am I saving? How much am I investing? But this system's already automated. It's already structured. Once you flip that order, saving first, spending second, saving your money first, saving every bit of money that's coming in first that you've calculated, and then spending everything second, your expenses, your bills, whatever projects that you have, taking that all and putting it to the side, and then taking your savings money and then automating it, then everything in your life changes. Your whole life can change, and this is how you can build generational wealth. If your money doesn't have a plan, if it doesn't have a system, it will disappear over time. You won't realize it in the moment, but it will actually disappear because you didn't have a system, you didn't have structure set in place to actually calculate how much money is coming in, how much money is going out, how much you're spending on your bills every year, or how much you're spending on your bills every month. And you don't have these numbers locked down and noted in your head, then your money will be disappearing over time. It will disappear. But you gotta be able to create a system. You gotta be able to create a tracking system to the point where you can calculate and know everything that's coming in, everything that's coming out, and it could be religiously stuck inside of your head, so you're aware of everything that's going on, and you've created this system that will allow you to every month create cash flow, every month create cash flow instead of losing money, but you're actually gaining money. Lifestyle creep also plays a big role in why you still feel stuck or you still feel broke even while you're making money. Yes, you just got this new job where before you were making probably $18, $19 an hour, but now you're at this job where you're making $23 an hour. Yes, that's a $5 gap, and now you're making more money. But what ends up happening is it's called lifestyle creep. Your lifestyle also changes. You change your lifestyle, which means now you want to buy stuff that are a little bit more pricey, a nicer car. You eat out more because you have more money, more subscriptions, more comfort. Now you just want to go out and buy certain things that you couldn't buy before. So what ends up happening is this money that you were making at 18, you were not buying all these things, but this money that you're making when it's $23 you're making now an hour, you're buying more things, and the money is basically equaling out. So you're not seeing that gap. You're not seeing that money gap that you should be seeing. You're not seeing that gain, but instead you're seeing, if anything, a reduction in the amount of money you're making. Yes, you're making more in income, but you're also spending more. Your output is, you're putting more out there, you're spending more, which means what's coming back, and every time you're tracking, every time you're budgeting, you're going to see you're actually losing money because you've allowed lifestyle creep to take control, basically. So even when you're making money, your savings stay the same or worse. One thing you have to understand about people that are building wealth is that they don't allow lifestyle creep to happen to them. They delay lifestyle upgrades for later, right? It's called delaying gratification. Anything you might need in the moment or you feel like you want in the moment, you can delay that for another time, right? Broke people are always upgrading immediately, but you haven't even built any wealth. You don't have a stock portfolio. You don't have an ETF portfolio. You don't even know what a Roth IRA is. You haven't even set up your 401k with your employer. So you don't have a backbone. You don't have a emergency fund. You don't have something to lean back on, but you want to spend just because you got a $2 raise at your job. It don't make sense. The key is learning how to enjoy life without upgrading everything. You can enjoy life as a minimalist. You need to learn how to enjoy life as a minimalist. You have to become more content with what you already have. Instead of flaunting, instead of going out to buy designer, instead of going out to buy the nice new car because you got a $3 or $4 raise, learn how to be content with what you have already. Here's the best way to fix this problem. First, track your money for 30 days. I'm suggesting this to you to create this plan. Track your money for 30 days. Second, build a simple system. Spend bucket, your saving bucket, and your bills bucket. You gotta, I'm saying bucket, but your spending category, your saving category, and your bills. You can write all this stuff down in your notes app, in a notebook, wherever you want to write it down. And then you need to automate the savings the moment you get paid. So you're automating every time you're getting paid. You're automating it so that money's going directly into your emergency fund. It's going into your investments account. It's going into whatever else that you want to spend your money on. But make sure you're not allowing any leaks, which means make sure you're not allowing any small purchases that you don't need. If you're coherent about it and you know, okay, I really don't need this item that I'm about to buy right now. I already have 4 pairs of jeans. Why do I need a 5th? Then don't buy it, right? Become more intentional. Become someone who's more disciplined about the things that you're doing. Lastly, don't confuse progress with perfection. Even saving $50 or $100 consistently changes your mindset, right? Just seeing that money growing 50, 100, 200, 300, it just keeps you steady. It keeps you consistent. And when you see it growing in your account, when you see it, you'll become more of, okay, I can actually start saving more, and this will actually grow. Momentum always matters more than the amount, right? At least seeing something growing in your account, it'll make you more disciplined, and then you'll start increasing your savings amount. If you always feel broke, it doesn't mean you're bad with your money. It just means nobody taught you how to create a system, and you weren't taught how to create a system. You've never had a system in place where you can actually track your money and you could actually learn how to invest properly, learn how to budget properly. The best way to get out of feeling broke and the best way to get out of feeling stuck with your finances is to create a system, not allowing any leaks, and it's to track your expenses. For these next 30 days, I want you to try this example out. Write down all your income, write down the amount of money that you're making, write down the amount of money that you have on your bills, the amount of money you have on all your expenses, everything that you need. If you learn how to invest, write down the amount of money that you're investing. And I want you to track them, and I want you to see how much money you're supposed to make, and do not allow any leaks. That's the most important part. No expensive items, no expensive purchases during this 30-day trial. So I want you to just test it out and see how it works for you. If you gained any value from today's video, I want you to like, comment, and subscribe, and comment down what type of videos you want to see. Thank you for watching.